Good morning, everybody. My name is Ashmita. I'm here to present my analysis and insights on the growth of Telangana to the Telangana government. Thank you, Codebasics, for giving me the opportunity to participate in the Codebasics Resume Project Challenge 7, organized by Codebasics in collaboration with Open Data Telangana. This slide provides an overview of the topics that I'll be covering in my presentation. I will begin by providing an overview of Telangana and discussing the objectives of this project, and then we'll discuss about the data sets I'll be using in the project and the key questions provided by Codebasics team that I'll be answering. We will also address a few data gaps before doing secondary research and giving my insights and recommendations. Why is Telangana so special? India's 29th state is a young and vibrant state with rapidly growing economy. It has won 12 Swachh Survekshan and National Panchayat awards, and its ambitious irrigation project is serving water to 1.8 million acres of farmland. It is a driving force in the IT sector with over 1,000 industries, and it has 2 tiger reserves and several national parks. The people of Telangana have a rich history of fighting for their independence, which can be attributed to many freedom fighters of this land. I have included a few notable examples. The state was once a princely state called Hyderabad. Today, Telangana is a separate state with Hyderabad as its capital city. Let's explore a bit more about Telangana. Telangana was formed on 2nd June 2014, and its state goddess is Telangana Tali. It also has a political party named Telangana Rashtra Samiti, also known as TRS. The state is home to 33 districts, and the official languages are Telugu and Urdu. Telangana is known for its delicious foods such as Hyderabadi biryani, mirchi bhaji, sarvapindi. It is also home to a variety of wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, including the Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve and the Kawal Tiger Reserve. Most importantly, it has a beautiful historical background. As you can see, the movement for a separate statehood for Telangana started long back in 1969. Here are the cabinet ministers of the Telangana state. We'll be looking at the data from 3 different departments, mainly the stamp registration, transportation, and TSI pass, to understand how they are growing and changing over time. We'll also be looking for the connections between these 3 departments to see how they are related to each other, and then we'll be putting all of this information together to report on the overall state growth. Let's understand the Telangana stamp registration, transportation, and TSI pass datasets. All these datasets are available on Open Data Telangana's website. Particularly, we'll be investigating three departments here. The first one being registration and stamps, the second one is transportation, and the third one is TSI pass. Now, the TSI pass is a self-certification system, but it's not a department by itself. It is governed by the Industries and Commerce Department of Telangana. So what are their functions in Telangana government? Suppose if you buy a property, be it a vehicle or a building, you must officially register it. That's where the registration and stamps department comes in. It officially registers the documents, preserves the records, and provides the document copies. And it generates revenue through stamp duty and taxes and preservation and access charges. While transportation department is responsible for enforcing vehicle rules, maintaining the roads, and ensuring the road safety. Transportation department generates revenue through imposing road taxes and fines, issuing driving licenses, and conducting the vehicle certifications, etc. While the TSI pass facilitates business setup, basically simplifies all the administrative procedures. It is more like a government initiative to promote and encourage investments. They contribute to Telangana government by taxes and stamp duty. It also creates economic growth by job creation and fees from business activities. These are the set of key questions provided by Codebasics, which we will be answering in our preliminary insights. Let's start with investigating the revenue generated from document registrations and e-stamp challan payments in Telangana. Data for Jaishankar Bhupalpalli district was missing, so I contacted Open Data Telangana to understand why this was the case, and I received this response. Bhupalpalli Sub-Registered Office, the SRO. SRO is basically a government office that is responsible for registering property transactions. So, Bhupalpalli's SRO was just recently established. Prior to this, all the registrations would fall under the jurisdiction of the Mulugu SRO. Mulugu is a district just beside the Jaishankar Bhupalpalli district. Let's see the variation of document registration revenue across Telangana districts. The top 5 growth performance from financial year 2019 to 2022 are Mulugu at 167%, Adilabad, Karimnagar, Mutual, and Mancherial. And the average revenue is 66.3% and minimum revenue is 15.6% of Jangawa. Mulugu is at 167.1%. One of the reasons could be it is accounting Jaishankar Bhupalpalli's district document registration revenue as well. Let's compare the e-stamp challan revenue and the document registration revenue across the districts in 2022. So the top 5 districts that showed higher e-stamp revenue contribution are Jangoa, Rangareddy, Mancherial, Peddapalli and Khammam. So Jangoa stood at 1.0338%. So how do you understand this is? Jangoa's e-stamp revenue is 1.0338% more than the document registration revenue. Now let's look at the changes in the count of e-stamp challan and the document registration patterns since implementations. The e-stamp challan was implemented in 1st December 2020. Before the implementation, the document registration count was 20,83,263. And after the implementation, it rose to 27,86,700. There's a drastic increase in document registration revenue count. But if you see the growth rate in 2021 of the document registration count and the growth rate of e-stamp challan count, it is at 22% to 24%, which is very, very high. But if you see the growth ratio of document registration count and the e-stamp challan count in 2022, they've fallen down to 0.05%. Why the declining growth rate? It could be because of the saturation effect. That is, there's too many users already. The other reason could be economic factors such as money and job problems because of the COVID recession. Another reason could be the promotional activities. Suggestions for the government would be reignite awareness, keep reminding people the benefits and incentivize the usage, keep giving them rewards, discounts and loyalty perks. For using, user experience can also be enhanced by simplifying the process and evaluate the policies, identify and remove the rules that may have contributed to the decline. Keep monitoring continuously and fix the problems as and when they arise. By the way, we are not considering 2023 in this analysis because in this data set, we only have the data for the first 3 months in 2023. So that is why we see a negative growth rate. Now let's categorize the stamp registration revenue into 3 segments, that is low revenue, medium revenue and high revenue during the financial year 2021 and 2022. So the districts colored in dark pink are having high revenue and the bracket range is between 264 crores to 7,068 crores. The medium revenue districts come in the bracket of 72 crores to 262 crores. And the low revenue districts come into the bracket of 13 crores to 67 crores. Low revenue districts are colored in pale pink and the medium revenue districts are colored in pink. Let's dive into analyzing the individual vehicle sales data from the RTA, that is the Regional Transport Authority of Telangana. This time, data for 3 districts, namely Narayanpet, Murugu and Warangal were missing. So I contacted Open Data Telangana to understand this. And this is what they said. Narayanpet and Murugu districts are newly formed districts. They have not yet been mapped. What it basically means is they are not yet in government's database because the administrative processes such as setting up government offices, hiring staff, etc. and data mapping such as collecting, developing and entering the data into the database for these districts are still being developed. And about the Warangal district, Warangal previously was divided into 2 areas, each with its own RTA code. However, now it has been mapped into a single district and has been assigned a new separate RTA code. Therefore, the data for both the areas need to be combined into a single data set. So we'll be having null values for all these 3 districts in the shape maps further. Let's explore the correlations between vehicle sales and months in different districts. Let's consider the 4 fuel categories. Starting with petrol. Petrol category vehicle sales are sold in high number in the months of October, June and November, mostly in October. Few of the reasons for this could be October is the festive season, and for people in Telangana, the cultural festival is Batukama. People might think of this as an auspicious period to buy new vehicles or new property for that reason. Also in the festive season, there's a possibility that the people might get additional festive bonus in their organizations, which might motivate them to buy a new property such as a vehicle. October month marks the end to the monsoon season. So the farmers might want to start their agricultural activities back and they might want some additional agricultural vehicles for the transport of the goods. There is a drop in petrol powered vehicle sales in the months of April, May, September and December. In April and May months, there's intense heat. People might not be drawn to buying a new vehicle. Also because in May and April months, there's school reopenings happening and there's exams happening. They have to allocate their salary towards the exam fees and the school reopening costs such as buying textbooks, school uniforms and so on and so forth. Reasons for decline in the month of September could be September is a monsoon season, so very less people would prefer buying a vehicle in this season. Also, the main reason could be the next month after September is October, where There's Batukama happening, there's Dashara happening. People might postpone it to the next month. People might just defer their purchases. There's also Ganesh Chavati falling in the month of September. So there's so much festive spending to do. So people might not have enough money to buy a new vehicle in this month. 7 districts have shown a decline in petrol vehicle sales in the month of December. One of the reasons would be post-festival lull. There's so many festivals in this month of September, October and November. In December, people would just want to save money because they've already exhausted a lot of money in spending for these festivals, and they might just want to save up. If you see for the diesel fuel category, there's high sales in the month of March, June and October, mostly in October and June. In the month of March, there's so many year-end discounts happening. You get the income tax refunds and then you also get the agricultural income, which might motivate you to buy a diesel-powered vehicle. In the month of June, there is Bonalu happening. Bonalu is a cultural festival of Telangana again. There's still some people who consider all these festivals as an auspicious period to buy a vehicle, especially in the agricultural sector. There is Kharif season starting, so the farmers might need to prep a little bit before it actually starts. Also, there are so many water scarcity concerns in Telangana. There's a high requirement for a diesel-powered pump, which can really help in the water scarcity concerns. The monsoon season ends in October, and it is considered as one of the comfortable months for buying. This might be one of the motivating factors to buy a new. October month is again considered very auspicious because the Tukama festival falls in the month of October. Farmers and the general public might consider this as a very auspicious period to buy diesel-powered vehicles. There's a huge decline in diesel-powered vehicles in the month of April and May, mainly because of the intense heat and the tax season, the agricultural lull. Agricultural lull refers to the agricultural activities are hugely reduced in these months. They might not want to invest in a new vehicle. April being the tax season, funds are mostly allocated in paying the tax. Monsoon season starts in the month of August. There may be back to school expenses. This explains the decline. Let's look into the electric category now. The highest sales of the EVs were recorded in the month of March, January and December, mainly in March. There are so many government initiatives put in place to encourage people to buy EVs. Also, there are so many awareness campaigns being conducted this month in Telangana to make people aware and inform them the benefits of having an EV. There are year-end discounts and very good deals going on in the months of January and December. Also, these being the holiday seasons, people might as well consider buying a new EV. EV sales are drastically reducing in the months of May and June. This could be because of the hot and humid weather and also the charging infrastructures, especially the maintenance and the battery health and the charging infrastructure. These two are very important for an EV. Peak summers and monsoon seasons can affect this. June marking the start of the monsoon season and May being the peak of hot summer explains the decline. One of the common reasons that can be attributed to the decline in the EVs would be the lack of awareness of the EVs. If we consider the other fuel category, we can see that there's an increase in the months of March, September, Jan, December, August, November and October, most of them being in March and September months. Few of the reasons for this could be there's harvest season demand in the month of March. There's also fleet renewals and tax benefits, which will motivate you to buy. There's agricultural preparations happening in the month of September. Also, it's a festive season, so people might get festive bonuses. There's a decline in this other fuel category type, mainly again in the months of May and April. Few of the reasons for this could be the intense summer heat. Agricultural activities lull. There's very little or no agricultural activities happening in these months. And in the months of January and December, you have to do a lot of financial planning and festive expenses. So you might not want to buy a new vehicle. And in the months of June, July, August, again, there's monsoon season happening. Let's understand the vehicle distribution by class across the districts in 2022 and let's identify the predominant preference. All the districts are majorly purchasing the motorcycles. The motorcycles count in total was 48,09,987 and the second is motor cars, 10,36,430. At the third position are the agricultural vehicles, 1,95,714 sales, and auto rickshaw with 1,35,145 units sold. So the predominant preference is undoubtedly the motorcycles with a count of 48,09,987 units sold. Let's compare the vehicle sales growth, especially considering three fuel categories, petrol, diesel and electric categories. Rangareddy, Hyderabad and Medchal have shown highest vehicle sales growth considering the petrol category. Warangal, Jagatal and Nirmal have shown declining sales growth. If you can see, There's a negative sales growth in Medchal Malkajgiri district with minus 0.1%. One of the reasons for this would be the replacement cycle for the petrol-powered vehicles is very long. Specifically, purchasing petrol-powered vehicles is not a recurring purchase. Coming to the diesel category, we have Karimnagar, Sangareddy and Rangareddy as top 3 districts. We have Warangal, Mahbubabad and Jambuwa as the bottom 3 districts for diesel-powered vehicle sales. Coming to the electronic category, the most highest growth category, we have Khammam, Bhadradri, Kottagudem and Suryapet as the top 3 and Mancherial, Rajana, Sircilla and Vanaparthi as bottom 3 EV sales. Electric vehicles are being purchased a lot, which is proven by the fact that the declining rate is very less when compared to diesel and petrol categories. Now let's analyze and investigate the TSI pass, that is Telangana State Industrial Project Approval and Self-Certification System. Again, this is governed by the Industries and Commerce Department of Telangana. So let's see the top 5 sectors with the most significant investments in 2022. The first sector is plastic and rubber with 5,855.4 crores. The second one is pharmaceuticals and chemical sector at 2,181 crores. The third one is real estate, industrial parks and IT building sector with 2,127 crores. Solar and other renewable energy sector with 2,053 crores. And the fifth one is the engineering sector with 1,877 crores. Sangareddy's investment in plastic and rubber sector is around 3,819.6 crores, while the investment in plastic and rubber sector by Sangareddy is at 1,762 crores. Most of the investment in plastic and rubber sector is done in these 2 districts. For the real estate, industrial parks and IT building sector, most of the investment is coming from the Rangareddy district again. Now let's see the top 3 districts with the most significant investments during the fiscal year 2019 to 2022. Rangareddy district tops with 42,705 crores. Sangareddy comes second with 12,366 crores. Medchal Malkajgiri district comes third with 10,392 crores. The major reason for this is because Hyderabad, being Telangana's capital city, is surrounded by all 3 districts. So these 3 districts are known as satellite cities. Government invests highly in all the satellite cities. A satellite city is a smaller city that is located near a larger city and is dependent on the larger city for economic and social activity. And satellite cities are often home to people who commute to the larger city for work, education or other activities. The reason for this could be since the infrastructure and the labor and the commercial properties are readily available, it attracts the potential investors. Hence why there's so many industrial sectors in these regions. Let's look at the correlation between the district investments, vehicle sales, and stamps revenue across the districts in the financial year 2021 and 2022. If you see the overall correlation, vehicle sales and the stamps revenue, we have a very strong positive correlation, 0.9. Correlation between the district investments and the stamps revenue, or the vehicle sales and the district investments, they are very weakly correlated. Almost it's negligible. If you specifically see the districts, every district's correlation, especially Hyderabad, has shown 0.87, which means that there's a very strong correlation between the vehicle sales and the stamps revenue. The reasons are so obvious. As and when you purchase a vehicle, you would want it to be registered. That's why these 2 factors are very strongly correlated. But if you see in Warangal district, it shows a negative 0.4, weak but negative correlation in between vehicle sales and the stamp revenue. This could be due to various reasons, one of it being the awareness. Maybe people are buying vehicles, but they are not aware as to how to get them registered. Let's look at the sectors with substantial investments in multiple districts between financial year 2021 and 2022. There are so many districts that are highly investing in food processing sector. Nagar Kurnool, which is the highest by far at 123.4 crores. There are only 2 districts that are investing substantially in beverages. Those are Vanaparthi with 330 crores and Narayanapet with 1,467 crores. The same is with agricultural based cold storages. Khammam and Siddipet. Siddipet at 721 crores and Khammam at 94.7 crores. It's the same with paper and printing as well. Peddapalli and Bhadradri Kottagudem. Bhadradri Kottagudem has 984.2 crores, while Peddapalli has just 35 crores. Cement and concrete products and fly ash bricks. Only one particular district has a substantial investment in this sector, and that is Suryapet with 952.3 crores. Let's see if there's any seasonal patterns or cyclicality in investment trends across sectors. Industrial parks and IT buildings. The investments are only made in February, while for thermal power plant, the investments are only made in the month of August. These sectors are prone to higher investments only in these particular months. Mostly automobile industry, beverage industry, electrical and electric products industry, real estate, industrial parks and IT buildings industry, and engineering industry. All of these industries have higher investments only in January and February months. Surprisingly, in the month of May, there are no high investments at all. Before diving into the secondary insights, these three questions will be addressed and answered in the further slides. The top 5 districts for commercial property investments in Telangana: Hyderabad, Rangareddy, Sangareddy, Medchal, and Yadadri, Bhuvanagiri. Hyderabad, being the capital city of the state, is well developed and has very good investment returns. Rangareddy, Sangareddy, Medchal, Malkajgiri, and Yadadri, Bhuvanagiri districts are surrounding Hyderabad. So these are the satellite cities which the government will be focusing to develop furthermore. These districts are home to several major industries including IT, manufacturing, and logistics. And they have diverse industrial sectors. The operating costs are very low and the property values are rising. The investors might benefit of capital appreciation along with reliable rental income. And for people in Telangana, visiting the Yadadri Lakshmi Narasimha temple is like an emotion. All the rituals are performed there, ranging from birth rituals to the marriage rituals. People are open to staying in the hotels there, hence why the Yadadri Bhuvanagiri. Although there are so many impactful government initiatives, I tried to list a few of them. Raitu Bandhu initiative relieves the farmers from the debt burden. PSI Pass offers clearances to projects within 30 days, easing the administrative burden for the industries. E-Idea provides incentives to entrepreneurs for setting up industries, including reimbursement of stamp duties, power cost, interest, and investment subsidies. T-Pride aims to increase the representation from marginalized groups in the industrial sector. T-Hub fosters women entrepreneurship by providing incubation facilities, access to the government, and a global network of collaborators. T-Works, India's largest prototyping center, with services like IP facilitation, product design, rapid prototyping, and component sourcing. T-Hub focuses on innovation and technology with 78 incubators, accelerators, and co-working spaces. The 16th initiative that I've listed would be the India's first youth innovation hub in Telangana, which would foster innovation and entrepreneurial skills in young people. Although I couldn't find the data to quantify each and every government initiative, I have referred to Telangana Socio-Economic 2023 Handbook, which helped me quantify these initiatives. My 5 insights and recommendations for Telangana's future growth would be to encourage document registration in low revenue districts, as in run awareness campaigns and offer incentives like rewards, loyalty perks, discounts, and encourage document registration. Address declining growth rate in East-Arm Challan revenue. East-Arm Challan revenue growth has slowed down, especially in 2022 as we saw. But the reasons are very unclear. I would recommend to investigate the causes of the decline a bit more, considering the economic conditions and the awareness levels. Accordingly, adjust the policies and launch campaigns to promote the East-Arm Challans if necessary. Boost sales of electric vehicles. Electric vehicle sales vary across districts with potential in some areas, especially Khammam, Bhadradri, Kottagudem, and Suryapet have shown a drastic increase. So the government could offer some incentives and subsidies to make the electric vehicles attractive, and they could simplify the purchase. They could invest on charging infrastructures for the electric vehicles, especially focus efforts on the districts like Khammam, Bhadradri, Kottagudem again, and Suryapet. Focus on sectors with high investments. Sectors like plastic and rubber, pharmaceuticals and chemicals, real estate, and solar and renewable energy attract significant investments. The government can develop policies and infrastructure to support the growth of these sectors, which can attract many more investments and boost economic development on the whole. Align government initiatives with seasonal investment trends. Different sectors have seasonal investment patterns. Government could align its initiatives with the seasonal investment trends. For example, focus on industrial parks and IT buildings in February and thermal power plants in August to optimize the impact of government actions.